Hello and welcome to EV Review Ireland. My name is Derek Reilly. Today we are in Austria, and whether this is the first video or the second video you've watched, we are all about the ID.5, and this is the Pro Performance version in this beautiful moonstone blue. With some of the ID versions you may not know the difference when you're meeting them face on, but definitely with the ID.5 and the Pro Performance version you will notice those because of this body coloured, slightly different front bottom. You've got full LED matrix headlights, you've got that light bar, and in Europe we don't have the illuminated VW badge, but you will get that in North America. Gorgeous colours that you can get across the range. Sizes of wheels, you get 19s, 20s and 21s, and the Pro version comes with 19s as standard. It has that half flag with the Pro identifier on it, that large wing mirror, body coloured with the indicator on there retracting, and like all ID.5s you've got this cladding at the bottom here that is body colour. You've got the body coloured door handles with that panel internally. It looks like it's going to open, but it actually just pops inside. And then as we get down towards the back, you've got that sloping roofline, panoramic sunroofs across all the ID.5s. You've got that contrasting roofline, but slightly higher with the black. Let's have a look around the back. So from the top we have that gloss black shark fin aerial. You've got the charging port on the rear right hand side. You've got a AC and 11 kilowatts and DC up to 135 with that new software update. All ID.5s come with those lovely 3D rear tail lights. This is the business end here. You've got the coupe line, you've got that spoiler. You've got that light bar that goes all the way along the side, and a lot of people go for the Volkswagen ID badge as the opener, but actually it's in underneath. Power tail lift on both all models on the ID.5s. This is 550 litres because it's slightly taller. 500 litres for the ID.4. Lots of space in there, 20-40 split with the ski hatch, and there is some storage in underneath as well. A subfloor, and then there's another subfloor in underneath that. Closing this down. So inside the ID.5, there is slight differences between this and the ID.4, but they're only slight. On the door, you've got some body-coloured panels on it. You've got the gloss black, you've got that wing mirror and window instrument cluster on the left-hand side, the one where you have to change between the front and the rear. Not a fan of that. Then you've got your automatic light cluster over my left knee, and in the right-hand drive, that'll be over my right knee. Steering wheel, 3-spoke, same as the ID.3 and ID.4. And you've got those haptic feedback buttons on it. Again, some people aren't a fan. Behind the steering wheel, you've got a 5-inch screen with the gear selector on the side, and this is reach and rake, as always. And with the ID.5s, you have the 12-inch infotainment screen, again with those touch panels underneath. New software that has augmented reality upgrade, voice upgrade. It has the faster DC fast charging, but it didn't put any lights behind the temperature and the volume, so at night time it is sometimes difficult to use this system. Center console, do you need it on an MEB platform? Potentially not, but you've got some cup holders here. You've got a wireless charging bay, 2 USB Type-Cs. You've got your cup and bottle water and holder, and that can be covered up as well. Overall, with that head-up display, it's not a bad driving experience, but sometimes people are thinking that Volkswagen are cutting some corners with some of this stuff, but you've got your panoramic sunroof as well. That's the front of the inside of the ID.5. I'm 188 centimetres, 6'2". Let's see if I can sit in the back. Here we are in the back, and as I said, I'm 188 centimetres, 6'2". That seat is set for me, and there's lots, 5-6 centimetres in leg room. Headroom, because of that panoramic sunroof, it's actually not bad. About 2-3 centimetres on the side, but lots in the height. These are the integrated seats, so the headrest doesn't move. Also, I didn't talk about the armrests that are in the front, but nice flat floor. We've got some USB Type-Cs in the back here, and tri-zone climate control. Some pockets at the bottom and at the top for your devices. Seats, the bench is actually a small bit low, so your thigh support isn't the great, and we're finding that with a lot of battery electric vehicles. You've got 2 ISOFIX in the rear, you've got the microfiber in the middle with the leather, and then you also have the armrest with the integrated cup holders, but they aren't the adaptive ones. This is a ski hatch, so it will come all the way through. Good space in the back here, 3 headrests. Would you fit 5 adults? Sorry, 3 adults across the rear if the middle one was small. Otherwise, nice. That panoramic sunroof, I'm a big fan of it. Doesn't open, but there is a blind built in. Let's take it out for a drive. Before we take it out for a drive, we've got some stats and figures. So obviously this is built on the same platform, the Volkswagen MEB platform, and it is very similar in styling to the Q4 e-tron Sportback and the Skoda Enyaq Coupe, but for whatever reason Volkswagen have decided to call this one the ID.5. Irish prices for the starting off on the Pro side of things and the Pro Performance are starting after grants of €54,995, all the way up to the max version with the Pro Performance of €71,545. The Pro and Pro Performance version all come in rear wheel drive. All ID.5s come with a 77 kilowatt hour battery usable. With the Pro, it is a 128 kilowatt electric motor giving you 174 brake horsepower, and the larger 150, the Pro Performance, gives you 150 kilowatt electric motor with 204 brake horsepower. The maximum speed of the ID.5 Pro and Pro Performance is limited to 160 kilometers an hour. Towing capability of 1200 kgs braked. The chargers we talked about, the 11 kilowatt on home, will get you, if you've got a regular wall box 7.4 kilowatt hours, that'll get you from 0 to 107.5 hours. And then the DC fast charging capability of up to 135 kilowatts. It will do 5% to 80% in 30 minutes. Heat pumps, I always get asked about this, and they are only available on the Max versions. Rear visibility, you can see it here with that spoiler, is slightly less than the ID.4, but because of that coupe line, you have a better aerodynamics, and it has a drag coefficient of 0.26. Software updates is a big thing on the Volkswagen ID.5, and you have software update 3.0. We actually beta testing 3.1. Some of the things that were interesting in it, there will be the capability of bi-directional charging, which is like a two-way power transfer. More details on that coming soon. Another update we have is over 90 kilometers an hour, you have active lane changing, so you just indicate and the car actually changes its lane for you. So all getting very handy with this autonomous driving stuff. Then we have Travel Assist from Volkswagen, which is their adaptive cruise control and their lane keeping, and that will give you, has swarm data now, so it's going to learn from itself, so it's going to understand where it is in the road. Even if it hasn't got a center line, it knows what side of the road it should be on. If there is all the cars ahead of it have this data, swarm data turned on, and they're avoiding a pothole, whatever that may be. So they're going to, the more cars that are using this, it's all anonymous, the better the lane keep and the travel assist will be within the Volkswagen group of cars. Next thing then, it has Park Assist Plus with memory function, and that allows it to remember certain maneuvers, up to 5 maneuvers in certain geographical locations, so it knows where it is. It's picking up the using the cameras and the ultrasonic sensors around it, and it can record if you drive into your house and then reverse back into a parking space, or all these unusual stuff. So it does all of that for you, and you can record up to 5 different memory positions. It has over-the-air updates, and the last thing I want to talk about is the WLTP. So on the Pro, they're saying it's going to get up to 520 kilometers, and it has a listing of around 17 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. We're getting really good when we're driving it to and from the airport. The efficiency was very good. So I'd say you're probably going to get a 420 to 450 real world, in fairness to it. Anyway, that's enough stats and data. Let's take it out for that drive. What's it like driving the ID.5 in the rear wheel drive version? Sometimes it's difficult to figure out whether this, and this is, if this may be your first video on the channel for ID.5, or this may, you've already watched the GTX one and now you're watching this one, so you will recognize these roads. It is the following day, and this is the rear wheel drive. So it comes in Pro and Pro Performance, so that will dictate what size electric motor is inside, and in turn then that will dictate the power level that you're on it. But otherwise, steering is the same. Suspension you can get normal, or you can get DCC, which is dynamic chassis control, and it's a lot smoother than the GTX. I like the GTX suspension. I think it's not too firm for what it is, with regards to it being a sporty, large SUV, but this one is very nice. Going over some potholes there and some manholes there, and it just wafts over them. So yeah, this one had the head-up display and has the larger screen as always. This the regular ID.5, the Pro and the Pro Performance, because they're rear-wheel drive, single motor, they have a slightly lower towing capacity, so it's about 1200 kgs. It's nice. It's very like the ID.4. Like you're sitting in it, looking out, you won't know what car you're in. The larger screen may give it away, but this one, the steering wheel isn't the GTX steering wheel, and so there's always that slight visual difference. But otherwise, the driving of it and these roads. I think the steering is well weighted. The seats are nice. These are the integrated headrests as well. So to double check there, jumping in and out of different cars all the time. Visibility is good. Yeah, and the power is there if you need it, even with the rear wheel drive. Yeah, it's not GTX level, but plenty. Absolutely plenty. Hopefully you've enjoyed the review of the ID.5. Hopefully you've already subscribed to the channel. We're talking that we're looking to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. It's all about the engagement. I get back to every single comment, so let me know what you're thinking. If you have a question, I always get back to all of my comments. And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching.